crypto market's going absolutely crazy right now. And today, it's not the good kind of crazy. No matter of fact, everything seems to be crumbling down. And that means it's over. Yes, I've given up. I've sold everything. I'm retiring back to the woods, and I'll see you guys in a few years. Obviously not, right? Many people don't understand that this right now is the best time to really start focusing in. And if you take a couple of steps, a couple of actions, right now when the time is hot, you've got a very good probability of making life-changing gains in a matter of time. Well, it's always kind of the case. I mean, in a short matter of time. I'm not your financial advisor, but I think what I'm about to say will make a lot of sense to you. Okay, I noticed the audio is a little bit messed up, but I can either delete the video or just upload it anyway, so hopefully you guys can bear through. Next video, the audio will be better. First off, I'll say, on many different exchanges, the Bitcoin price fell a lot because some whales were cashing out hard. More importantly, I believe a lot of this is just to shake out the leverage, shake out some people with stop losses, and get a more sustainable rally going for the longer term. Now, I don't think this screenshot is real. This is just one of the ones I could find. But a lot of people were saying, oh, a whale cashed out this or that amount of Bitcoin, causing the price to drop to, for example, 59,000 on some exchanges. And I mean, the Bitcoin price basically everywhere dropped to roughly below 61, but on some it got way lower, resulting in hundreds of millions of dollars getting liquidated over the past 24 hours. Having said that, why we are having this reset and exactly what it means, I'll talk about in a second, but I first want to show you this, what DeFi2 just said. At this stage in the sell-off, I'm pretty sure you can pick almost any coin in the market and be up on it in 24 to 48 hours from now. And if you don't understand what that means, perhaps get yourself checked out because it was a pretty simple statement. If you don't believe this statement, it's different.
Let me tell you.
I've shown you before, but I'll show it again in just a second, just how many dips there are in a bull market, right? Here's an example of why you, generally speaking, don't have to stress about that, because as long as you continue your pattern, things work out quite nicely. And a good example here is Michael Saylor, whom had this to share. MicroStrategy has acquired an additional 9,245 Bitcoin for $623 million using proceeds from convertible notes and excess cash for what? $67.4 thousand per Bitcoin. And as of the 18th of March, MicroStrategy holds 214,000 Bitcoin acquired for 7.5 billion at an average price of 35K. And again, here comes the overarching statement, which is, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not going anywhere. You can see the hair is getting dusty. You got to live up to the name, no? Because we got ourselves a dip to buy. And generally speaking, if we look back at this in a few months from now, we'll probably have skyrocketed so far and we'll all be laughing. Again, I am not your financial advisor, but I think what I'm saying here makes sense. Now, specifically the narrative, that can change, right? I've said before, AI, deepen, etc. I think will get way more massive, especially with all the new things being announced, all the pushes that have been coming around for AI. But that's besides the point, because if Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down. So that's the most important factor. But there's another one. And that other factor is Ethereum and how BlackRock and how the ETFs around Ethereum are going to be looking. Having said that, I should take a step back and say Bitcoin has never hit an all-time high before the halving. Right now, we're like still a month away or so from the halving. If you kind of put that into perspective, we still have some time to consolidate before we're in worrisome territory. Because even if we hit a new all-time high at 75K, right? Like 3 or 4 months from now, it'd still be in the normal time span. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think things will move way quicker. I'm just saying, even then, we're still on normal pace. Right now, we have just gone extremely quickly. And I'll show you 2 more things. First of all, 3 more things. First of all, I collect so many different pieces of data and random things. For example, the fact that 4% of all the Bitcoin is now held within ETFs. That number is only going to keep increasing. And so your chances to get some Bitcoin or crypto for yourselves, they're lowering over time, especially as these other ETFs roll on in, like the Ethereum one, and perhaps XRP and other ones too. A Standard Chartered Bank raises its Bitcoin price prediction to $150,000 this year and $250,000 by the end of next year, which is pretty wild. Anyway, but I wanted to show you this one, right? I've said it already before. I've shown it to you before, but I'll talk about it again. Ash shared Don't get panicked during the Bitcoin dip. In the last bull run, Bitcoin went through 8 corrections of 20% or more. During the same time period, Bitcoin pumped from 8,000 to 69,000. And the point here being, you can't have only up forever. You need to have corrections in the midst. And you know what the funniest part is? Right here, right, in this March of 2021 till, let's say, 2022 area, we went from 65,000 all the way down below 30,000, a more than 50% correction. Just absolutely massive, to back above 68, let's say the top at 69. Here, a lot of people lost confidence. They thought, this must be over. But fun fact, we're not there yet, right? Right now, if you were to ask me where we are, I'd say we're in one of these earlier phases. But to put it more onto the dot, right now we'd be at a correction like in this type of area because we just broke the all-time high, which at the time was like, let's say 19.5K. We tried to get above it a few times, didn't really work out too well, only some very short-lived candles. A correction of sorts, 20% before moving up and rallying higher and having a long time of up only. But even in that up only, as you can see from these candles, if you really zoom in, you'll notice, see how much of a deviation there could be in just the span of a week. And when you see that, all I'm thinking always is, you have good opportunities if you just keep buying. All you gotta be is not too scared to do so. DeFi Squared, like I just said it quite nicely, which is, we are already seeing such a sell-off that the risk reward becomes more and more juicy. And again, when looking at how the others are doing it, looking at how the big companies are doing it, yes, there are some ETF outflows. There have been, right? But MicroStrategy and generally speaking, the major institutions, they're still on the buying trend. I personally believe because they know what's about to come, they know what's happening. I personally think a lot of what we are seeing right here, a lot of this correction is due to memes going so crazy. So to explain that, there's some guys out there who raised so much money, so ridiculously much money, that it kind of took away people's abilities to just normally buy crypto. They were going all in on these memes. And what happens when you get that is that people keep thinking, oh, you know what? I made money on this meme. Let me now go make even more money on the next one. And that can only go on for so long until some developer either tries to rug with, for example, 200,000 Solana, which is massive, because that takes away from all the people's money. This, theoretically speaking, would have turned into so much more, right? As the value of the token goes up, some fresh money comes in to buy that as well. But generally speaking, people make the money back, they go for new things, and it moves on and on and on, with the valuation now being crazy high. If that ends somewhere in the cycle though, and 170,000 SOL just gets rugged, people get skeptical. People don't think this magic money is going to last. They're getting scared, unsatisfied, and not hopeful, not bullish anymore. And I think some of the coins launching recently have kind of put that in already, where there's so much money in those meme coins, but the meme coin space itself is not doing too amazing. It's doing okay, right? BONK is doing pretty amazing, but not doing too amazing. That has become a really interesting situation right now for memes. Refreshing it now, I think actually we're starting to pick up. WIF is up 11% already. Pepe is up 4% in the hour, 20% throughout the day as well. So we're starting to look good again, but you can see it from the market cap, right? That over a little while here, we've actually been trending downwards. And that's when I think at some point we're going to shift from some of the most major of memes to more just bigger and more solid altcoins before later on switching to memes again. Right now, we just had a bleeding throughout the entire market though. You can see a lot of it was centered around Solana because that's what a lot of these memes were based on. And that's where some of the craziest of excitement was based on. But as I said, I think soon enough, things will recover really, really well. Again, I might be wrong, but I think right now at 61,000, we've got ourselves a pretty juicy dip. 73 to 61, I think is a pretty good opportunity. Perhaps we're going to go down lower, 59, 60K. Doesn't seem too crazy. But even at that point, the risk to reward becomes only better unless you want to quit crypto forever. Still, you've got one of the highest points ever to cash out at. I would not be angry with you for doing so. I don't think it's too stupid. But if you're in it for the long haul, right now we are at some pretty cheap prices again relative to where we were a week ago. And from that perspective, I consider this to be a very, very lucky opportunity. If Bitcoin continues on with its trend, which I personally believe it will do inevitably, then buying the lower you can, the better. Right now at 63, I personally think we're at one of the best spots. But specifically for altcoins, I think that we've got ourselves a good reset. People getting schlepped back to reality. And then soon enough, the crazy gains can go on. Again, we may be wrong, but I think the only part we may be wrong on is just how long this little down period lasts. Not that it is going to inevitably be over. And I think personally that it might be quicker than y'all expect, or it might, whoa, look at that, huh? Damn, I should look at my portfolio, damn! Anyway, altcoin video coming out later. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you press that like button. All I'm trying to say is we're buying the dip like a freaking maniac. I don't really care what happens in the short term. I know where we're headed over the longer term, and that's all I need to know. So yeah, make sure you press the like button. If you enjoyed these videos, stick around, and that's about it.